Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Kelly Brothers Podcast, episode 175 for the 21st of August, 2022. My name is Slim Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
And we've got a fun pack show. Obviously, we've got obituaries because this year is almost like 2016 all over again.
Yeah. I feel like the beginning's always sad. We should maybe change
It's always
that.
sad. We should change that.
Do them at the end. Maybe.
Like a newspaper, because obituaries are always at the end. Do you want to swap it around and we'll do obituaries at the end?
Always brings a bit of a downer at the start.
Although have a downer at the end.
Oh, maybe we should. Well, maybe we should keep it the way it is, and then after that, things can only get better.
D-Ream.
That's it. Brian Cox.
Wait, what is that?
Not that one. The other one.
Was that the lead singer of D-Ream?
No, it was the Professor Brian Cox was the keyboard player, roadie or something. I don't know.
What? Of D-Ream?
Aye. Mm-hmm.
The Professor Brian Cox?
Yeah, but
he's a student?
I think it's been exaggerated. I think he was just like brought in for Top of the Pops because he knew the band or something and needed somebody to mind keyboards, and it's got all out of hand.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, and because the guy that was actually the guy that fronted D-Ream was probably D-Ream.
Daniel Ream.
Daniel Ream, yeah.
The Reaminator.
Famous paper company.
D-Ream?
Yeah.
Paper company. No.
Ream of paper? No.
Dream of paper.
Ream of paper. Ream, dear. Ream. 500 sheets.
Don't you dare ding yourself for that one. Don't. No.
It's too far away. No.
Is it?
No.
Anyway, okay.
How's your week been anyway? Have you done much entertainment things? I panicked on Thursday. I realised that I hadn't watched anything. I was like,
you're joking.
I should probably watch something.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching a whole bunch of stuff on Thursday, Friday, and last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what you've been doing.
It's literally just
about
pottering about the house and doing other things. We're trying to get ready for my in-laws, not Anna-Marie's in-laws. They're her family. So they're coming sometime in September. Can't remember when. Right. But we're trying to get ready for them. So we're doing sort of bits and pieces upstairs to sort of tidy up the rooms and things like that.
All right, okay. Bit of a clear out.
All right. So we're moving things and rearranging things and building IKEA furniture that has sat against a wall for years. We've never actually, God, really? That kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, because there's two of them coming. It's not like when you were across, it was just one person in a bed. This is like an entourage type thing coming. So
right, okay.
We've got to put out all the stops and all that kind of stuff.
George
Plus,
pimp hat and his
Plus, as well, Sam has decided to move from the front room in the house to the back room, so that's another big move as well. So it's all
go.
It's all go. I can barely hold it together. So I panicked. Actually, I forgot to write down. The first thing I did watch was actually She-Hulk.
Just do what I do
for Thursday. We'll just ignore everything and just watch TV.
Just remember it all up here. It's all up here.
No, go ahead, write it down. Right, I have a terrible memory these days. Like for the last 5 years, I can't remember anything.
Well, remember at the end of last week's show, I went, "Oh God, I forgot to mention that I watched."
That's
I'll talk about it.
Do you remember that you watched it last week?
Yeah.
Okay,
I remember this week. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
That's good. Well, thank you very much for remembering.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the tea?
Yeah.
This one's a bit of a shocker. I don't even know where to start with this one. Darius Dinesh, who was in Pop Idol, and he was in Chicago and a whole bunch of other things as well. 41, found dead in Minnesota, I think it is. I don't think the cause of death has been
No, it
released
hasn't.
yet.
No.
It's
in his house though. He lived there, didn't he? It wasn't just randomly
yeah, I
in
think it was
Minnesota.
Yeah. Cause of death unknown, but his family said he was found in his US apartment. Craziness. Darius Dinesh, 41.
Yeah, I read a story about it today, and it said that he had shut himself off from social media, and when people came to visit him, he seemed a bit confused. But,
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. What was going on with him.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler was friends with him.
Yeah.
And had met up with him not that long ago and said he was in good form and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolute tragedy. Whatever happened to him.
I'm assuming it was two Scottish guys, so they were in a pub at some point.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute. I mean, geez, man, 41's no age. It's not. I mean, you're still a boy at that point. Okay.
At our age,
our age.
Mm-hmm.
At your age,
still a boy.
Still a boy. We're beyond years. I don't know why I turned into what was it? The Hitcher.
Oh God, the Hitcher from Mighty Bush. Jeez.
So your problem, boy. Eels. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Just Google it, Mighty Bush eels, and you'll be terrified. Nightmares for months. Mm-hmm. But it did have the this is another one where we just wander off completely. But he had the plastic.
Before you say anything else, poor old Darius.
Darius, yeah.
Right, I know. Carry on with your bit.
So he had the Hitcher, and he had a monocle, but the monocle was that plastic container of those little tiny polo mints.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I remember that, but yeah.
The mini polo mints used to get in a giant
in a giant polo.
And its capsule was a giant polo mint.
Yes. Genius.
Brilliant.
Do you still get them?
What the hell? What's going on? Look at Darius there.
I know. I'm trying to like. I mean,
is this because of what I said earlier? Keep it light. So you take
keep it light. I know. Okay. All right. I was just trying to keep it fresh and minty.
Oh God.
And on the sudden, and this isn't really. He's not really famous, but he's famous to us.
Well, it's a gaming thing.
Yeah. Is Oliver Frey. Who is a Swiss artist from Zurich originally. He did all the illustrations for Crash and Zap magazine. And
computer magazines back in the UK.
Computer magazines, yeah, back in the day.
Did all the covers and inside illustrations. I think, man, he must have been. He was busy.
Right, yeah.
He was busy.
Yeah, super busy. So he's unfortunately passed away. Age 73, 74, I think he was.
Yeah.
He passed away today, in fact. So this is a unfortunate fresh
news. Actually today, right?
Yeah, 21st of August today. Right. So yeah. So he lived with his partner Roger Keane, who is the publisher of Crash magazine.
He lived with Roger Keane.
Yeah.
As in
they were partners.
They were
lovers in the nighttime.
Actual.
Yeah.
Well, I did not know that.
There you go.
Wow.
So yeah. He did a few other things for like he had a pseudonym called Zach apparently, and he would start a prolific production in different gay erotic publications in the 1970s. So there was a whole bunch of other stuff.
This is revelation stuff.
So
is revelation a word?
I used to have Crash episode or Crash number 1 because there was a guy at school who gave me his copy, and he goes like, I got this. In fact, no, he said my mum got this. I didn't like it. Maybe you will. And I don't know why he did that, but that was me. I was hooked on Crash magazine after that. But yeah, I had that issue that's on screen there.
Yeah, I know. I remember it. We bought that every single month. Was it every month?
Yeah, every month. Yeah, and then you moved over to Zap 64.
once the Commodore 64 came out.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, all
amazing
these are classic.
paintings, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Dundalk.
Like that kind of stuff.
Well. So yeah, so he's no longer with us, unfortunately.
There you go.
So.
I'll need to kind of look up a wee bit more about him then.
But he's a fantastic illustrator. Like he did, like it was all airbrush stuff. It was like, kind of very similar to, well, not really similar, but it was Mark Wilkinson as well. He's still alive? He's still with us. But he does a lot of like airbrush stuff. I think he does Photoshop airbrush now, but I think he used to do the old physical
I don't think
airbrush
Oliver
stuff.
Frey was an airbrush man.
Well, he's using an airbrush there.
Oh, I never thought of him as an airbrush person.
Yep. There you go. There's an airbrush there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he used he did other things as well. I mean, it wasn't just airbrush, but yeah,
crayon, color pencil,
crayon. He did that as well. Yeah,
le crayon.
No, BBC, I do not want to help you improve. Just stop putting things. Actually, maybe you can improve by putting up things, not putting up things like that. Tom Holland has decided that he's going to step back from social media. I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's a bad place.
It's a bad place,
especially if you're famous and you just get people ragging on you 24/7.
I bet you. I bet he gets a lot of negative stuff and a lot of stuff about, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that.
Yeah, you're no Andrew Garfield, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Bring back Tobey Maguire.
And it must get to you after a while.
Yeah,
it must get to you. Good on him, and shame on you
for driving him off of social media.
Drove him to it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he says, hello and goodbye. I've been taking a break from social media for my mental health, but felt compelled to come on here to talk about at STEM4org. So he's talking about that there. Please take time to watch my video. If you feel inclined to share, I don't know what STEM4org is, so I'm not going to bother getting into that. Sure. Love to you all, and let's start talking about mental health. So
good for you, Tom.
I think the problem with social media is that our tiny little brains aren't capable.
Speak for yourself.
our stupid little monkey brains aren't capable of handling that amount of data. That's the big problem, and it's too much to go. And there's been apocryphal, like horrible stories about people being hounded to commit suicide and all that kind of stuff by people online. So I think the more people who take breaks from social media, the better.
Yeah.
I tend not to use it. I tend to use like Twitter is more of a news feed for me rather than me posting things. I tend to get like news from there rather than like putting things out there. The only thing I do partake in is Instagram.
Yeah, me too.
And that's about it.
When I got my new phone, I didn't install Twitter. I've just
gone bye-bye to it.
Yeah. Not that, I think when you get to a certain level, of fame, if you're like a YouTuber or you're a whatever you are, and you've got like a million or hundreds of thousands of subscribers or whatever.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't have this issue, but
we don't. 65.
Aye, but when you get to that level, the haters are just there, aren't they? Waiting to bring you down and stuff.
It's like people who go to rock concerts just for the sake of going to rock concerts. They don't go there because they like the artist or whatever it is. They just go there because it's something to do on a Saturday night. And maybe there's a certain percentage maybe there's a certain percentage that go there and they like what they see and they go and buy the artist's albums afterwards. But I doubt it. I think it's just that kind of like, it's that experiential thing where it's like, oh, there's a big person in town, I'm going to go and see them.
Aye, and they're the ones that spoil it, because they're the ones that will talk through a song you love.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Oh God, not another slow song, and you're going, I love this song.
And they end up, missing the whole concert, and they're like, a hazard or a liability. And you don't need those people in your life. So good for you, Tom.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea, and one of the things I did recently as well, because I need to use Facebook, but only for this channel and for my my Unity channel. It's just because I need to post up, hey, we've got a new episode up. That's the only reason I use it for.
Yeah.
So I very rarely post to Facebook now, because and again, this is the problem I have with most of these things, is that, and this is different to Tom's case, because Tom, I feel, is getting, along with other celebrities, are getting like kind of hounded and hounded and hounded. Is that
it's not so much what they're posting up; it's the stuff they're receiving.
It's the stuff that they're getting back. Yeah. The stuff that gets posted up on Facebook is all very much, look at my life and look how amazing I am and look how like all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, it's not a life isn't a pissing contest, surely.
It's not. And I wonder when it will change, or if it will change ever. This kind of trend of filters and beauty and speedboats and
exactly. Yeah, it's like, oh, great day on the lake, and you're going like, all right, okay. It's like good.
Do you know what
I'm glad
I hate?
You had a good time.
Do you know the ones I hate? It's the ones where it's like people that are like out on a night out, and it's like, I saw somebody the other day there, and it was like one of these kind of repetitive wee videos, and it's like it was like a plate with two cakes on it, and it was like serving it up to you,
Yeah.
And I'm like, who cares? or the cheers, it's like cheers. It's
they do the clink glass.
They kind of loop of them cheersing each other. And I'm like, oh my God, who cares? Honestly, who cares? As I was sitting, mowing my grass or whatever.
That's right, yeah.
Did I take a picture of it? No. Was I proud of it? Yes.
No one takes a picture, just finished mowing the grass.
I'm sure there are people that do that, but,
I think maybe I should do that. Like, find the most boring things to do. Just finish the dishes. That's me cleaning the toilets again. There's a picture of me with a wee tray thing with the Dettol and all that kind of stuff. Like that.
Yeah. Just cleaned the sausage.
Just cleaned out the sink trap. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Folk throwing up on the cornflakes.
Hashtag amazing life. Yeah.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's not just Tom that's been doing this.
No, it's not. And that's a nice segue. Thanks for doing that. Jonah Hill. So I've been talking social media, I've been watching some TikToks this week, and one of the things that I came across, and this is why it was interesting, the fact, because you posted this on the channel for a story this week. It was Jonah Hill asking why he was getting fat again by like 20 different people.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
How dare you?
He's basically he's said, can people stop talking about my weight? Because he lost loads of weight and now he's appears to be putting it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
It's nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with anybody.
Whatever's happening with Jonah, whatever he's doing, just leave him.
Well, he's happy or sad or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason. That is the reason I think he's stepping away, because everybody's like talking about it and going, and obviously he's getting a lot of messages as well about it and stuff.
I'm not saying he's one of the greatest actors of our time, Jesse Plemons, but he's pretty good.
I think he's pretty good. I think he is pretty good, I have to say.
And maybe he's putting on, maybe he's putting weight on for a part. Maybe he's putting weight on because he doesn't have a part, and he's like, I can just let myself go for a couple of months.
Exactly.
I mean, Christian Bale used to put weight on, take weight off, put weight on, put weight off. No one went, oh, what's going on with Christian Bale?
Yeah.
So I think just the whole thing, the whole late night talk show of circus of them going, oh, you're fair putting on the beef. There's no need for that. And again, he's doing it for mental health reasons, exacerbated by media appearances and public facing events, because he's fed up of people just sticking a microphone and
Yeah, I also think he's quite a private person,
Yeah.
from what I've read as
Mhm.
well, and I think he's just had enough of it now. He wants to do his job, and I want. I used to think that if you're a singer or an actor or whatever, just suck it up. It's
Mhm.
part of your thing. But if you're
Yeah.
an actor and stuff, and but your personality doesn't lend itself to being a extrovert out with being an actor, in
Mhm.
normal life. So a lot of these guys are kind of actors in general. I would say are I'm not going to say
I don't
troubled, but they're not all troubled, obviously. But they've all got it's a specific set of skills they've got, and mentally, I think.
Liam Neeson.
Aye. And
I will find you, and I will
yeah,
do a Shakespeare soliloquy.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Though when they're not
Yeah.
acting,
Mhm.
it's like you see Tom Cruise. I mean, when Tom Cruise isn't acting, he comes across pretty wacky.
Yeah.
And Jonah Hill's the opposite end of that.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's leave me alone type thing.
Yeah.
So good for him as well. It can't be good for
No, it can't. And like you say, I mean, if you,
people.
especially when if you're a very private person, like just because you're an actor doesn't mean to necessarily say that you're life and soul of the party and you want to be
Mhm.
always on.
Yeah.
I mean, I dare say there's times in every person's life where they do want to be riding atop a tank with a megaphone, going, "I want to be alone,"
Hmm.
like Greta Garbo and Dudley Moore, and not only but also,
What an image.
no, um,
Was that in that
that
film?
was in.
That's brilliant.
Not only but also, wasn't it? That was the Pete and Dud thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Right.
in that in there.
Oh wow, that's
Mm,
brilliant. That's
mm.
absolutely brilliant. Have you got a clip of that?
Um, looking it up.
That's great. I love it.
Uh,
Someone's furiously
Garbo.
typing here, trying to
I'll find
find it.
it. There we go. The best of not only but also. There's the art gallery sketch.
Yeah.
Uh, not only but also.
I
Oh,
watch
this
quite a
one
lot
just
of
one
Dick
just does.
Dick Cavett stuff,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Peter Cook was on. I was watching Pete and Dud. It was back in the day, obviously. Don't know when Dick Cavett was on. Was it the
Dick
'60s, late
Cavett,
'60s?
60s, early 70s. Yeah.
And he was on with Robert Shaw. I've been watching a lot of Robert Shaw stuff as well.
Uh-huh.
By God, they do not get on, and it is plain that
Who
they
Cavett
must have.
and
No, Robert Shaw and Peter Cook.
oh really?
It seemed to me as if they had some sort of tete-a-tete backstage, and Peter Cook is not forgetting it, and he's more cutting than he is funny,
Huh.
type thing. Because I think Robert Shaw was a bit kind of a bit of a tricky customer as well, and remember the whole thing with Richard Dreyfuss, that he antagonised Richard Dreyfuss constantly, and says that
Yes.
he
Uh-huh.
couldn't cut it as an actor and stuff, and
Yeah.
are you going to be good this time and stuff, and things like that.
But he said that he was doing it because he wanted to get the best out of him. And I'm like, well,
Aye.
there's other ways to do that.
But I think Richard Dreyfuss rubbed Robert Shaw up the wrong way because of the way that he came in onto the set of Jaws.
Mhm.
He was like, I'm the upcoming guy. I'm more
Yeah.
important than not that he quite said that, but
Mhm. I
I'm
think he
I'm
came
the
on kind of a bit like an excited cocker spaniel type thing.
yeah, and I think Robert Shaw was like, oh really?
Like all
I'll
that kind
knock
of, hey,
I'll
how
knock
you doing? Woo, hey,
knock
all that kind
him
of stuff.
knock
Yeah.
him back down to the
Yeah,
ground type
maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Uh,
Robert Shaw's son, by the way?
no.
He plays he's in that play just now. We're going to need a bigger boat, and it's like the kind of
It's not called that, is it?
it is, and it's all about the making of Jaws, the sort
Wow.
of or is it no? It's called the shark doesn't work or something like that. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
and he's dressed up as his dad, and he looks exactly like him.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. Yeah,
Did you know that Robert Shaw made up that? Again, we're going way off.
Yeah, we are. God, sorry. I know. This is what happens, though, if you're used to this.
The Robert Shaw's bit about the Minneapolis. Is it Minneapolis?
Yeah.
That was all made up by him. He decided he wanted to do this big speech, and he made it. He didn't make it all up. It's all fact. It's all fact based because they were the guys that delivered the bomb. But that's a true story. That whole thing about the sharks picking off the crew one by one. Terrible.
On James's James or James Baker, on his he recommended that we read got the audiobook of
Jaws,
Jaws, which I did, and I've started it. I started it a few weeks ago, and it's brilliant. I'm loving it. I think James was quite taken aback at some of the kind of racial kind of slurs and sort of sexiness in it.
Yeah,
but it's of its time, obviously, and it's a great read. It really is. Great.
Cool. I will try.
And we're going to watch 21 Jump Street. I think next week. I think that'll be our movie next week because.
All right. Because Jonah Hill's in it.
Jonah Hill's in it. Yeah, it's a fantastic film.
Channing Tatum. We're also going to be doing. We're going to restart our Tuesdays as well. We haven't done Tuesdays in a while, so we're going to redo it. And so we're going to do She-Hulk. I need to send a thing out on Facebook. We've been talking about social media. I need to send out an invite on Facebook for everyone so we can tune in on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m.
Is it a watch-along or is it a...
No, it'll be a panel thing rather than a watch-along. Yeah, just a round table thing. So bring your opinions about She-Hulk episode 1. I think we're going to briefly mention it today, but probably not talk about it in detail. Because there's other things I want to talk about as well. All right, at the movies, Cineworld, which is a UK chain of cinemas,
one of the biggest here.
Yeah, so despite the fact that the movies are picking up, Cineworld is the shares have fallen 60%. And fears of bankruptcy, which is not good for all those involved. No. Could this be the death of cinema?
No. Definitely not. Next.
All right, okay. Moving along.
No, definitely not. I mean, look at the billion-dollar movies post-COVID. So people are clearly not going to Cineworld, but they're certainly still going to the cinema.
Yeah.
So are they actually filing for bankruptcy because this affects? Is it Regal in America?
Yes, there's Regal Cinema in America. Yeah. I don't think they operate anything in Canada. We've got Landmark and Odeon Cinemas, or Cineplex Odeon. I think it's just called Cineplex now. It used to be called Cineplex Odeon because Odeon in the UK owned a bit of them, but now they're owned by the Onex Corporation. So I think it's just Cineplex. It's just now Cineplex. Anyway, no, it just affects where are we? The UK, US. I want to say Thailand. No, it's not Israel. That's it. Israel and Poland as well.
No. I mean, Cineworld they're more kind of in the city, I would say. Cineworld. We've got an Odeon here, Kilmarnock. That's our kind of nearest Odeon. You've been there, in fact. We went to see Thor: Love and Thunder there. That's our nearest, and then I think the nearest Cineworld from that is Silverburn, which is the outskirts of Glasgow. And then in Glasgow, there's a big Cineworld. They're lovely cinemas, though, Cineworld. But logistically for us, Odeon,
Yeah, I seem to remember them being called Cineworld in the UK. Because did they not take over the UGC in Glasgow?
They did. That's right.
Okay. Right, is that one. But that's gone to the wall as well, though. That one, the top of Renfield Street in Glasgow.
Well, it's a Cineworld, so yeah.
No. Is it still gone to the? Is it? I thought it had gone to the wall before that, or is it still?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, still Still
Because
there.
that's a massive, massive building. That
Huge cinema. That, yeah. I went to see a double. I went to see. I went to see Solo and Deadpool on the same day. I took the afternoon off my work,
Mhm.
and I went and saw Solo, and then Deadpool 2, I think it was Deadpool 2. Went to see, and
one of those movies was more enjoyable than the other one.
yeah, Deadpool 2 I think was better. Actually, I
Yeah.
thought at the time. I still liked it Solo. Sorry.
Yeah.
Great cinema though. Lovely
Yeah.
cinema. And it's got
Um,
that 4D experience where you can get blasted in the face with some water and blow, wind blows in your face and feathers come down and, your seat goes up.
Oh, the 4D thing. So
Aye.
there's this guy who's a former non-executive director at Cineworld, told the BBC's Peter Williams, for all of you who want to have a quote from a guy. I've always felt that the ticket price or headline price ticket price is almost too low, really. I mean, it's still a very cheap night out, he said, with a straight face. He added that while Cineworld is likely to face a major restructure, he believed that they would emerge a viable business. This is a big business and people will still want to go out to the cinema. The problem's not the ticket price. The problem is being gouged $50 for a popcorn. That's the problem.
That's how they make their
Stale
money, though, isn't it?
popcorn.
That's how they make their money
Well, yeah.
from the food. I don't think
Yeah.
they make much money from the ticket price.
No, I don't think they do. No.
But well, they're not doing enough deals, I don't know.
I think the problem with the cinema is that it used to be a spectacle. It used to be something you would look forward to, and it's not something I think about now. Going to the cinema.
I've had some. Do you know what it is? It's the people that go to the cinema don't respect it and respect the people around them sometimes, and it spoils it. It's ruined a couple of films for me in the past, but the last couple of visits to the cinema, the audience were terrific. I thought,
Yeah.
Love and Thunder, the audience were great, and God, what was the last one before that? Whatever the one before that was, they were great as well.
Well, the five of us were laughing our heads off. It wasn't even that busy though. I mean, admittedly, it was midweek, but I mean, it was a school holiday though.
Yeah. Well, we went kind of in the early afternoon, didn't we? About 3 or something.
Yeah,
Like kind of mid afternoon.
Yeah. I used to go to the cinema all the time because I would invariably be late for the train, and that would push me out another 2 hours to get back to Girvan. So I had to find some way to kill time. I'm like, I'll just go to the cinema.
Yeah, but I mean, there are. I was kind of picking up what you were saying earlier that there are so many rivals now to cinema.
There are,
and you've got your cinema room that
room,
not everybody's got that.
Yeah,
we've got a projector set up, here that we can watch stuff, but it is the kind of event movie that everybody loves, don't they?
Yeah.
Going to kind of a big event movie.
Anyway, it's not all downhill for cinema because Top Gun Maverick has taken over Avengers Infinity War as the 6th highest grossing movie in domestic box office history.
Wow, by the way.
That's quite impressive.
Bonkers. Very, very, very impressive.
I can only imagine people at Paramount Towers are high-fiving each other.
Woo! While they're playing volleyball.
While playing volleyball.
Tops off.
That's right. Doing the backward one as well.
Yeah.
$683 million in North America. Enough to overtake Marvel's Infinity War at $678 million.
That's
the 6th highest grossing movie. That's pretty impressive for a movie I have no intention of seeing.
So is that? Wait a minute, though. Is that domestic?
Domestic, yeah. So let's find out.
It's not worldwide, though. Mojo. It's not worldwide.
Mojo Maverick. So according to this, it has made $1.4 billion worldwide.
Wow.
Wow.
That is impressive.
Domestic 683.
So where's that sitting? Where's that sitting? And
it's number 6 of the best time movies of all time.
Worldwide. Worldwide, it's number 6.
No, domestic.
Aye, domestic is what. Aye, domestic it is.
Yeah, there you go. There's the number 1 movie of all time ever is The Force Awakens.
Domestic.
Domestic
means US.
US only. Yeah, US. Well, if we go for worldwide,
let's see where it goes worldwide.
Avatar is still number 1 because they did that re-release in China and cheated.
Yeah, well, you got
Avatar's Endgame, Titanic, Force Awakens, blah, 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 blah. Fast and Furious 7, Top Gun Maverick. So it still beats. Well, it doesn't beat Infinity War. In fact, it's way, way down the list as far as that's concerned. So it's 1.4 billion worldwide. So it's not even top 10.
Frozen 2 is number 11.
Yep. Don't know why.
Where's Frozen? It's not there in top 10.
Not there. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. Frozen's number 18.
Frozen, number 18.
How can Frozen be number 18, but Frozen 2? That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't, because Frozen 2 was not good.
Frozen 2 was a hot mess of garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
There
you go then.
Anyway, there you go.
Good old Tom. I've not seen it either, for the record. I'm frightened to see it, actually.
Let the record show that Jody has not seen the Maverick sequel.
I'm frightened to see it because I feel as if I'm like, well, I don't know if I like it, because I hated. I mean, I only saw the first one the first time ever this year.
I've still never seen it,
and I thought, God, it's awful.
I've still never seen it.
Not just bad, awful,
bloody awful. Well, I have no intention.
Prove me wrong, everybody.
I have no intention of watching either of them. So,
yeah,
it's like Breaking Bad. It's like it's too late. I've missed the boat. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, you've seen all the clip memes.
I've seen all the memes. I get it all. I'm Ozymandias or whatever it is, and all that kind of stuff. Look at me, I'm the captain. All that kind of stuff. Okay, moving along. Ezra Miller, the
weekly
update
episode
for Ezra Miller
of Ezra.
Ezra has begun treatment for complex mental health issues. I don't think there's anything mentioned in here about farms in Vermont, but there's a mention of Vermont, but there's no mention of complexes or a new Waco. But anyway, anyway, so they say, I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage of my life. My assumption is that the guy that's in charge of Discovery, Dave Discovery, whatever his name is, has had a word with them and laid it on the line, so to speak. David Zaslav feels a bit Don Corleone, this guy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know, but this, I mean, at this, he's 29, and he's doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
he's clearly been doing stuff like this all his life.
Yeah,
and now he's going to change, and you know, because he's been told to say that by Warner. Because they're absolutely cracking their pants that the Flash won't be released ever if they don't do something drastic. I think that they'll do this and then they'll drop him like a stone.
You think to get the movie out?
Yeah,
maybe. Who knows?
I think they'll drop him like a stone.
Drop them like 200 episodes of Sesame Street.
I see what you did there.
So HBO Max, again, the Warner Brothers. It's I've called this segment at the WB. it's still, I don't know what's going on over there. So 200 episodes of Sesame Street have mysteriously gone missing from the streaming service. No one knows why. This says here, brought to you letters G, O, N, and E, which I thought was funny. The content project HBO Max continues. The streaming platform has pulled over 200 episodes of the classics kids show Sesame Street. With a selection from seasons 1, 5, and 7, the full lineup from most recent seasons 39 to 52. All those 29 are from the earliest seasons. Previously, they offered a total of 650 Sesame Street episodes. Now they only offer 456. So you're missing out on the letters A through J then.
Right. So I'm guessing, right, there's some sort of woke aspect to this that they've had to remove.
Oh,
because they've said the word manpower or something in an episode.
Oh, right. Okay.
Get that off.
Maybe.
Delete.
Possibly. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I'm guessing. It's something like that. It's like this craziness. I was reading today that Argos have removed the term two-man lift from their
for like heavy objects.
Because somebody complained it was sexist.
Okay.
That's
what did they change it to? Two-person lift?
I'm assuming, yeah.
I mean, okay. That's fair enough.
Is it though? I don't think it is.
It's fine. It's fine.
They've not put it there, but they've not put it there to offend anybody, or
No, I know.
It's a term that people have been using for years.
I know.
But now suddenly, people are all this woke generation are suddenly offended by stupid things like that. Get a life. Go and cut your grass. Like I do.
Cut my grass.
Yeah.
You better be posting up pictures on social media of you cutting grass, like mowing the lawn, big smile on your face,
cup of tea in hand,
having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hashtag easy life.
I hope it's not for that reason that they've done this, because it was like Huckleberry Finn as well. They were going to take the N-word out of that book.
Yeah.
Right. And it again, it was part of its. That was the language that they used
of the day. Yeah.
Then it's a historic thing, really. You could say, and when you start removing.
Well, where does it end?
Then you're liable to make the same mistakes again. Yeah. That's the old saying, isn't it?
That's
why history exists, so we don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah. Or you're doomed to repeat it.
Putin.
All right, let's.
Right, I'll get off my soapbox now.
In other things that have been dropped from Warner Brothers, four top OWN, which is the Oprah Winfrey Network, executives have been out the door. So I don't know what they've done wrong, but they're out. Karen Grant Selma and Jennifer Giddens. No idea who these people. I don't watch any Oprah Winfrey Network shows, especially Dr. Oz. So one of them was the general counsel for the network, and the other one was the chief marketing officer. I'm assuming that chief marketing officer is now probably gone because it's probably going to be part of a corporate thing that they're going to do now. And general counsel probably means that it's probably exactly the same thing as well, as that's going to be brought in-house into Discovery. It feels, honestly, this feels like this is the cue the Layla reprise music. This is Discovery.
I agree. Aye. You're referring obviously to Goodfellas,
which was a Warner Brothers movie.
Yeah, people are getting kind of taken out and the music playing.
Yeah,
it does, and it feels like I think you described it perfectly there. Actually, it feels like there's a new sheriff in town, and he is separating the wheat from the chaff, and or whatever
whatever it is that he's doing, he's like
stripping things back or whatever. Yeah, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure, but he's not taking any prisoners. That's for sure.
He's taking names and kicking bottoms.
He certainly is,
as the Americans say.
And I'm all out of bottoms.
That's right.
No, wait a minute. What was it again? No, that's not it.
I'm here to do two things: to kick ass and to chew gum. And
That's
I'm
it.
all out of gum.
That's the one.
Rowdy
Not
Roddy
all
Piper.
out of bottoms.
Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David, I think it is as well. In the movie, they live a classic John Carpenter movie.
That is what that's from. Yes, great line.
Yeah, especially the bit where he tries to get Keith David to put the glasses on, and they beat each other up.
My God, that is it. See that fight though. Honestly,
so
oh my God, it goes on forever.
It goes on far
Ridiculous.
too long.
Just when you think they're done and they've agreed or whatever, it keeps going.
He hands him the glasses and he kicks them out of his hand.
Yeah.
Going like, we're 5 minutes into this fight.
Oh my God.
Oh, so good. Anyway, so that's the news. That's all that's fit to print.
Excellent. Some sad, some happy.
Some sad, some happy. Yeah.
Odd.
Some bizarre. I'm always sitting with this. It's because the screen's over there. I'm gonna not do that now.
No.
So, shall we move on to the next thing?
Okay.
So, what are you watching?
Well, I forgot to tell you last week. I watched the old Elvis movie.
Oh, banger much. The Baz Luhrmann one.
Yeah.
Any good?
Yes, very good.
Was it good? Oh,
excellent.
Good.
Yeah, I was completely wrong. I was totally wrong about the thing I thought I would be right about. I was wrong about.
Uh-huh.
And the things I thought I was wrong about. Sorry, the things I was. Wait a minute, I'll start again. The trailer, basically the trailer. I thought Aaron Thingy Butler, is it Aaron Butler?
Don't know.
He plays Elvis. I thought he's rubbish. He's going to be crap. Unbelievably good in it.
Is he as good as Kurt Russell?
Better.
Lies.
Yes.
Lies.
And the thing that I thought would be good, Tom Hanks, is the worst thing about the thing.
Do they delve into the whole past of Colonel Palmer, whatever his name is, Colonel Sanders, whatever his name is? What was his name? Tom Parker. Yeah. Do they delve into the fact that he was a deserter from the Dutch armed forces and that he
Not quite that far back, but
he wasn't really a colonel and he was basically a shyster.
Aye, I mean, they basically show him as being a sort of fraudster, or a kind of
snake oil salesman.
Well, he was like a kind of carnival type person, that worked in carnivals and kind of made his money off acts and stuff like that. And he found Elvis. Well, I heard Elvis. One of the people were playing at one of his records, and he was like, "Oh, I need to see this boy." And then he went to see him, and so it's brilliant in the way that's done. And but Tom Hanks has done like Austin Powers character, the way he acts in it, because he's Danish. Tom Parker, Dutch.
Get to the chopper.
And he's in this fat suit, and he, smoking a pancake. Kind of, you can imagine him kind of saying that as a Mike Myers character. So he's a kind of weak link, I would say, in it, which is bizarre. I never thought I'd say that about Tom Hanks.
That's from Goldmember, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know what that's from.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, terrific, really, really great, and it's really well directed, and it's the material's brilliant. I thought they'd focus on one small part of his life, but they focus on his whole life. It's great.
So when Tom Hanks' character saw Elvis for the first time, he goes, "Ich want your keeper."
Practically. So what was our movie night? Movie night was why can I not remember? Could have been that good. I'll come back to that. We watched the old She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, yep. I watched that as well. Yep. We should probably keep our thoughts to Tuesday, 10 p.m.
Whether we liked it or not, we can at least say whether
No, I think we can say whether we liked it. Yeah, I
really liked it. I thought it was charming, and
I thought it was funny,
and I thought it was funny, and I thought she's great. I thought
she's from Orphan Black, isn't she?
Is it?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen her in anything
I've never
before.
seen her on anything else either, but she was in Orphan Black. That was her breakout role, I think. Let us know postcard, usual address down below.
But it was great to see Hulk as well in it, and kind of you get a real insight into being a Hulk, I suppose, and the kind of troubles that he has being a Hulk, and the Hulk training montage sort of stuff. I really liked it.
So let me review the critical drinkers talking about it. He was all against it, but then eventually sort of said, "Oh, we'll see what this is like after he went against it." But I think all his fears and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. There was a whole big thing about. So they go in it's the first 5 minutes of it. They go on a car journey, and for the first 5 minutes they're talking about Captain America losing his virginity, and that thread is carried all through that first episode, and the payoff is great. Yeah. I really like the payoff.
Yeah,
but again, like he was all like he got his knickers in a twist because he was talking that he basically sort of said, "Of course he did," and all this kind of stuff. But that's not the point. Is the fact that history doesn't write about people's sex lives, so like there's going to be speculation about that anyway. So like she's seeing it from an outsider, and Bruce obviously is an insider, and he knows, but he's obviously not going to say.
Really,
and so it's an interesting like take on what people perceive the supers to be compared to what they actually are. And
it's really well written, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel that some of these are also. It's written by the head writer is the writer of the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty.
Okay,
I think that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah,
one of the finest episodes ever written.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, loved it.
Yep.
The Mummy, that was what we watched. Tom Cruise's Mummy. The Mummy.
That's zombies.
Which was supposed to kick off the sort of monster universe for Universal. And it didn't, for whatever reason. Pretty enjoyable. I've seen it before.
I thought it was fine.
We enjoyed it for what it was. And
you get to meet Dr. Jekyll as well.
You do. Russell Crowe. Who's good in it. I didn't think Russell Crowe was that great as Zeus in
no, he was okay. Thunder. I kind of liked his wee skippy down the stairs. I thought it was
he kind of danced. He was kind of hamming it up a bit, wasn't he?
I think that might have been Russell Crowe saying that. I'll just get down the stairs.
Yeah. But I like it. I liked the Mummy. It was good.
So it did badly at the box office, and Universal immediately went, right, that's it, cancelled. We're not doing it anymore. And so because that's the reason why Blumhouse did Invisible Man, is because that was the next movie they were going to do in the Dark Universe. I think they should have just kept going with it.
Yeah,
the Dark Universe stuff. I think it would have got better.
Well, the Blumhouse Invisible Man was great. Did you see it?
No, I haven't. No. It reminded me a bit of that Barbara Hershey one, The Entity.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
But I honestly think they should have kept the Dark Universe one, because it's the same thing with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, again, yes, you could argue it's not great. It's not a good movie, but it was a bit of fun, a bit of froth. I mean, it's like, not everything has to be, Schindler's List or something. It doesn't. It's got to be. You got to have a bit of fun there.
Was that not an Alan Moore comic?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
A run of comics that he did.
Yeah.
They could have done it. I mean, they did it with The Watchmen. Alan Moore again.
The happiest man in
the,
comic books.
the original material obviously was fantastic, and then God, get some good writers on
Yeah,
to expand that, as as they did for the TV show, which was terrific.
yeah.
Some great ideas in that. It was really great, really brilliant. So Mummy, we watched. Oh my God, Sloan, we watched this thing in BBC called Marriage. It's a 4-part thing with
Oh
Sean
yeah,
Bean in it.
you actually posted. We're talking about Facebook. You posted something. This is how annoyed you were with that show. Is you replied to somebody on Facebook mentioning it.
All right, did I?
Yeah.
Utterly bizarre. 4 parts of, and me and Evan were like, what did we watch there? Nothing happens in it. Sean Bean is so creepy in it, and sort of.
You said that. Can you like elaborate a bit on the what's it? Why was he creepy?
Well, basically, his character has lost his job. He's got some sort of mental issue. He's lost his confidence or something like that. I'm not sure. It's not really explained. I don't think that I can remember. And so his wife isn't still in a good job working for a lawyer, a lawyer firm, and so he's going down. He goes down the gym, but he kind of dwells in things and thinks too much about things, and he thinks
Intrusive
that
thoughts type stuff.
he thinks that she's having an affair with her boss, and keeps questioning her about stuff, but in that kind of non-aggressive kind of way. And then there's one point where he goes to the gym.
I think he's still got his thick Sheffield accent.
Aye, he does. And it's the girl receptionist, a young girl, and he's like, he just stands there, he's like, oh, it's good to get a good workout, isn't it? Do you ever get the chance to get a workout? And then he just stands there with his plastic bag, and he's like, he's got no chat about him, but he just stands there, and she's like, I just need to go to the back just to,
get away
check
from
something.
you.
Basically, right? So she stands there for like a couple, and then she thinks, right, it's time to go back. And he's still standing there when she goes back out, and he's like, well, but he's got no chat. It's like, yep, right. Oh God, it's so awkward, that scene. It's like,
God.
And there's just moments where like they're in the kitchen together, him and his wife, and he's just there. He's just there. And it's like, oh. Don't get me started with the theme tune as well. Oh my God. It's weird.
Dirge?
Weird.
Okay.
It's made by, it's directed by, I think he's a Scandinavian. It's got a Scandinavian name anyway, this guy.
Was it maybe from the producers of The Bridge?
Don't know, but he's got these lingering shots as well of like nothing happening, and the dialogue is minimal, and it's like, oh my God, this is so unbearable.
I watched a movie like that. I'll talk about it in a minute.
But sometimes scenes like that can, there's great tension
There's weight
or something
to them or whatever. Yeah.
This is like, oh God, I need to look
so
away. It's like,
because it sounds like the way you're describing it. What was that? The one with Kate Winslet. She was the director of. She wasn't the director. It was set in Pennsylvania.
The Reader? No,
it was like Mayor.
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah,
Right.
that felt like that would have lots of lingering shots of things.
That was great.
Actually, The Sinner had that as well.
That was brilliant.
Come to think of it, he used to do a lot of that kind of slow holds over woodland.
Can I just take a 2-minute break?
No worries. Hello.
Yeah. And I watched 13 Lives as well. Ron Howard. About the Thailand 13
Oh
football
yeah.
kids stuck in a cave in Thailand.
Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I don't know.
Colin Farrell. I used to hate Colin Farrell. I used to not like him as an actor at all.
And then you saw Horrible Bosses, and you're like, I'm all in. I get it now.
No, it was in Bruges actually. That was like
God,
first time I liked
bloody
him.
movie in Bruges.
I know. So no, I just think he's terrific. Everything he does now. Although I don't know if I can forgive him for the remake of Total Recall, but
well, you forgave Bryan Cranston enough, so
yeah, it's great. It's really well shot. Ron Howard, guy's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just brilliantly done. I know the story kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I know kind of how it happened and stuff and what happened. But
they effectively send them out in coffins, don't they?
No, well, spoilers, but
well, I mean, it was in the news.
Yeah, well, basically, what they did was they decided there were 2.5 kilometers into this cave.
Yeah,
right.
How did they get in there? I still, no.
What happened was that there was a monsoon that came early, and the caves flood every single year, but it came early. So when they went into the caves, and the monsoon came, the water made them go further into the cave.
Oh, I see.
To get away from the water, to get to a high point.
Right.
So that was the reason why they kind of went so far in.
Going in, yeah.
Aye. So 4 guys, 3 English guys and an Australian fella, who's played by Uncle Owen, actor.
Uncle Owen. Right, yeah, that guy, yeah. Egerton.
Taron?
Yeah.
Taron?
No, that's Eggsy.
Anyway, and Lord of the Rings man.
Joel Egerton.
Joel Egerton, yeah.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings fella, what do you call him?
Luke.
No. It's got kind of Scandinavian. Anyway, they're all great in it.
Viggo Mortensen.
Aye, him. He plays an Englishman in it.
He's not Australian, is he?
No, but Joel Egerton plays
Oh, right, okay.
An Englishman.
Right.
Who
gets to play Elon Musk?
Oh God, I know. I was waiting for that bit, but it never comes. So basically, what they do is they go in. They found they were alive, in there for 10 days alive, and right until they get found, and then they decide to fly in this Australian guy who's an anaesthetist, and he's also a caver. So they basically, did you call me? They basically knock them out, an injection.
Yeah.
Right, and put a full face mask on them, so they can breathe. Tie their arms, tie their legs, and
just drag them out.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That is terrifying.
And then halfway through, because it's going to wear off. So halfway through, they get to a bit that's another ledge. No, in fact, they do it underwater. But it's just a bit they can still breathe.
Yeah.
And they inject them once more, and then that's when they bring them out again.
Wow.
I mean, so dangerous, and so I mean, two people died. 2 of the divers died. One during the thing, and then one later on from, I think they get sepsis or something from because they get cut.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, blood sepsis.
Yeah. And they died. They died a few months later.
Jeez.
But yeah, for me, because I'm quite claustrophobic, so it was quite.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to watch it. Because of the whole idea of like, we're going to take you out of here, but first we're going to put you to sleep. It's like,
I mean, it's not even just. It's the fact it's not just caving. It's like, completely flooded.
I don't know how. I don't know how people can do the caving. You know, that caving thing where they do that kind of like
Oh my god, I
sneaking
hate
in
it.
things. It's like, nope.
Well, see when see when they're describing the route, because they have to describe it to the Navy SEALs that are the Thailand Navy SEALs
Yeah.
that go, and so he's like, saying this bit's a bit tricky. It's a bit kind of more wobbly than the lines shown here on the map. You need to kind of twist your body to get through it. And I'm like, oh,
Nope.
no, thank you.
Makes you wonder how they got in there, though. There was and all that kind of stuff as well.
Well, those tiny wee kids, though.
Well, yeah.
Tiny,
Yeah. Yeah.
Only the coach, he was the oldest one, but he was still quite young as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic, but scary.
Yeah.
That's me.
I watched 3 movies this week, and I watched three things. I finished Westworld.
Unclear. Did you do the YouTube thing? Ending explained video?
No, but I really need to watch one of those because I didn't get it at all. I didn't get the entire season. I need a obviously the guy from Screen Crush, Ryan Airy, was no it. Is it Ryan Airy? No. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, Eric Voss is the other guy. Ryan Airy was he doesn't obviously watch Westworld, so I couldn't even go to him for help. Which was,
I'm getting a bit like that with Sandman. I'll not talk about it until I finish it, but
we haven't even started. We're still working our way through the Umbrella Academy. We got as far as Wedding at the End of the World, which is episode 8, I think. We've got another 2 to go.
Yeah.
And then, man, it's such a good show.
I need to start watching it again.
Oh, it's really good.
There's too much stuff.
I love it.
Oh, I also started watching Better Call Saul as well.
That ended. That was the finale this week.
Yeah, so I thought, time for me to start watching it.
I started watching the first episode about 2 years ago, and then
me too,
stopped.
And I fell away. Yeah. But we're pretty far through it now.
Well, we talked about She-Hulk, and obviously 10 o'clock this Tuesday. The 3 of us will be here.
Yeah.
Join us, won't you?
Join us, chat.
And have a wee chat. I watched Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which, it's okay. It's better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not good.
Not to the Sloane Kelly standard.
I don't know what it is. Like I appreciated the fact that there wasn't a big CGI battle at the end.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
I liked that. That was a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos whoever wrote. Actually, I think Patty Jenkins wrote the screenplay for it. So good for that. I thought the baddie, the antagonist, I guess he's not really the baddie. The antagonist, I thought he was brilliant. The character, and I thought Pedro Pascal was the.
So it was, yeah.
Max something like that. He was the guy that did Black Gold was his company, and they have this kind of like it's almost like The Mask, this kind of wishing stone thing.
Do you know what? I thought it had a kind of TV show vibe, Wonder Woman TV show vibe about it. Did you think that?
I thought it was a mix.
Actually,
I thought it was a mix of Superman 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was definitely a Superman 4 thing, because that's the quest for peace.
I had a good time with both movies. I must admit.
I much preferred this one to the previous Wonder Woman thing. I think maybe it's because it was. I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was set when it was set, the original one. It wasn't as interesting.
I think you're right as well. I think it didn't go down the usual route. It was a bit more interesting for that way. It didn't. The first one was very much a boss fight type thing at the end.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much for taking part for the first 2/3 of the movie. We'll take it from here, and they just do the rest of CGI.
It was brave the fact it didn't do that.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it was I liked that aspect of it is the fact it didn't end in the CGI battle.
Yeah,
that was kind of nice about it. But yeah, it's still not quite there yet. Like you can see the sort of it's getting there, but it's still very DC. Yeah, I know it's DC, but you know what I mean. It's not.
I
I
do
don't
know
know.
what you mean.
There's just something that I can't quite put my finger on and go like, that's the thing that they need to change. There's just
See,
something about it that's just.
yeah. See, when we were watching films back in the day, it was like kind of set pieces, right? But the set
Yeah,
pieces and the kind of the setup were all you know, you watch a Steven Spielberg movie, you know, and you can see it now the way it's been set up and things like that, and the set pieces that happen,
yeah,
action things, and it all just perfectly goes like that.
yeah,
Whereas I think these new movies, I don't know if they're trying to be more than everything seems to be like a Michael Bay movie. You know, it's like overblown
yeah. Everything's got to be a
nonsense.
spectacle kind of stuff. And again, I like that aspect of it that it wasn't doing that.
Hmm.
But I find a lot of these movies, it tends to end in Deus Ex Machina, and it's like, oh, because like the Deus Ex Machina is not a good thing. It's basically I've run out of ideas. I need a god to come down and save us.
Hmm.
And like the bit at the end of Endgame, for example, where what's her face comes down and just like cuts the ships in half.
Uh,
Marvel,
Captain
Captain
Marvel,
Marvel. It's not satisfying. It's like you haven't, as an audience, you haven't earned that.
lazy writing.
It's just lazy. That's all it is. Lazy writing, and they all lived happily ever after again. There you go. That's it. Done. Right. Now we can move on.
Although
Except for
Endgame's not a good example because that's a crime film.
well, okay, yeah, but that's the kind of idea is that it's this kind of I'm going to come down and
Yeah,
save the world type
yeah,
thing.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Despite the fact that none of the characters have done anything towards that. Marvel. Uh, I watched Tenet
did you?
finally.
I did not expect that.
It
Really?
was on the Netflix, and I was like, I'm
Right?
going to sit and watch this. I watched it in 10 parts, I think. It
No,
was
never a good idea
honestly,
to do that. Sloan.
it was like
I
20
think
minutes, and I'm like, oh man, I can't do this, man. This movie.
I hate watching a movie like that.
Oh,
Oh,
really? I
I
watched it like
hate
that
it.
all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, because
I
I
did
find I
that with
only get
that.
like 20 minutes here and there and
Yeah,
stuff.
I did
I
that with
could,
that 13 Lives. I ended up doing stuff and
yeah.
sitting down and
Honestly, I could not have sat through 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was, a Tenet by myself.
right. I'd
The,
love to see your face when you finished it.
do you know? Do you know the thing is? I think I'm not. Oh no, well, I'm not a huge Chris Nolan fan, as I think everyone, including you, are aware. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge Chris Nolan fan. There's some movies I like of his. There's some movies I don't like of his. I think Chris Nolan has a great idea about doing something, um, but the problem is it's a one trick pony he's got. That's it. He's only got this one trick pony, and there was a couple of times in the movie I'm like, this is just shit dialogue wrapped around this
I don't.
concept of going backwards in time.
I don't think he
And
cares.
it was like I want to do a James Bond movie that's a time travel thing, um, but all the dialogue is written as if it's a Mickey Spillane novel.
I
That
think.
is my takeaway from Tenet.
I think you can tell that Christopher Nolan has zero uh, respect or in for dialogue because quite often the explosions and the
Music
music,
just
um, you hear that clearer than you do the dialogue
yeah. I mean,
at
there was
times.
bits in it. There was bits in it. There was beautiful shots of like liminal spaces and things like that. And you're going like, this is absolutely amazing. This, and in the background you hear.
But sometimes I don't know if he did that as in purpose as well. Sometimes because just to kind of cover up what the twist is, you know.
But that's the thing, is the twist was coming a mile away. It's like it wasn't like oh. I mean, I was more shocked by the Tesseract in Inner Space than I was this, and I could tell that the Tesseract scene was coming, or some scene like that was coming.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like her diving. And she said, and when I got back to the boat, someone was diving off, and I'm like, well, it's obvious they are.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, spoilers.
The way that, because I ended up doing we spoke about this already, but I ended up doing the kind of explanation thing for it, and the guy described it, or was it when I was watching it? I thought, right, okay, so it's basically two movies at once, and they're crossing each other's paths.
Yeah,
that's what it is, right? So one's moving forward and one's moving backwards.
Yeah.
And that's how that movie works.
Yeah.
But it's like,
by the way, I really like Robert Pattinson in it.
Joe, I'll tell you what, man, he's terrific, isn't he?
He's really good.
He's great.
He's really good. The main guy, John Washington, whatever was his name?
Yeah,
John
Denzel's son.
Yeah.
Mm. He's great.
He was really good.
He was.
I thought.
Do you know what his name do you know what his name in the movie is?
Tenet.
The protagonist.
Fantastic. Is he reading Snow Crash now?
No name.
What the hell's going on?
So,
yeah, because at the end he kept saying I'm the protagonist.
Yeah. It's funny actually, because I got I just don't really talk about computer games that much lately, but I got a Deathloop for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $14.99. I was like, I've been wanting to get that since I got the PS5.
Yeah,
got it, and it's reminds me of Tenet a little bit.
Yeah,
because of the way the setup is,
mm-hmm.
and it's a black character as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who looks
there was a couple of times as well, and sorry, go back to the movie. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
There was a couple of times where I felt that they broke the physics of the world. A couple of times. I mean, I know it's complicated and all that kind of stuff, but the bit at the end where they have this big battle for some reason, because we need a big battle. So they have a big battle at the end, and there's a bit where
or is it the start?
Exactly, yeah. Or is it just the first mission? There's the bits where the blue troops are coming out of... Sorry, the red troops come out, and they all kind of like that, right? But then the blue troops come out, and Robert Pattinson's character's in there, and they all run forward as well. So does that mean they all ran backwards into the containers?
Yeah, there's...
And
when you've got a movie,
he was there at the start, which means he was there at the end. But he wasn't there at the end.
Don't try and think it.
So how does he get there?
It's too much. There's too much going on, and anytime you have time or anything in a story, there's always going to be blips of stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, always. And the last movie I'm going to mention before we go away. So my takeaway is I watched 3 movies this week. Wonder Woman 84 was the most enjoyable one. It was the most coherent one. The last movie I watched was Downsizing with Matt Damon.
Do you not like that either?
No.
Really?
I think
you're hard to please, you.
I really am, I know.
Jeez, that's a good film.
It felt a bit like The Truman Show at times, but I really like The Truman Show. So
10 out of 10 film.
Exactly. Yeah. It's got your Jim Carrey. It's got your Ed Harris. Directed by Peter Weir. What's not to like? Just a fantastic movie. Because there's a couple of music cues as well that are very similar to the movie, but I think it's just because they were like, get this thing on here. Anyway, it's from a Canadian director, I think. Downsizing, because quite a lot of it's filmed up the road from me. It's not I didn't like it. It's just I felt like it was all these disconnected stories almost with the same protagonist. So Matt Damon decides to get shrunk down to 5 inches tall. He enters this luxury town, I guess, where all these 5 inch people live. He meets, and then I won't bother telling what happens, but he ends up meeting his next door neighbor, and then he goes to this like eyes wide shut type party, and then after that he meets a Vietnamese woman who they mentioned previous in this, and then he ends up being like a doctor in the slums, and then he goes to Norway, and then he decides, and it's just all this. It felt like another movie, and I can't remember what the movie is, but it felt like that. I think movie.
Do you not think it feels like a kind of Charlie Kaufman type movie?
It felt like this guy was just going with the flow. Like the protagonist was just going with the flow. Like it wasn't like it was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea, and then just blindly going with that. And I was struggling to see what the filmmaker was trying to like mean about the movie. Like I understand what you're saying about, like there's a bit about greed, and that's really why people downsize, is because their $100,000 in the bank actually becomes like $10 million
because everything's tiny.
Because you only need a small portion of a tomato and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of made sense.
I like some of the gags though. Some of the gags were funny. When he
but it wasn't a comedy though.
When he has to sign the.
He has to sign his divorce papers, and he's like, "Could you write a bit bigger?" That was kind of funny. It was funny where they were going in the bus, and there was a woman, and she's like chapping on the glass, and she's like this tall, and she's going, "That's your first time." It's kind of funny as well.
There's a few funny gags. I thought it was good.
I think the whole shaving thing as well. Yeah, Christoph Waltz is in it. He plays some crazy Serbian guy.
Yeah,
that guy as well. That's in all these things. He was in Barbed Wire and Ace Ventura as well. He plays the captain of the ship that they get. He's like Ut Otto or something. I think his name is. Anyway, he's a fairly famous character actor. I love that bit as well. He's going like, "How do you get your ship?" And he goes, "I just FedEx it."
I like that movie. We've seen it a few times actually.
Okay. I don't know, watch it again, but it was okay. Like, and the other one as well was the Vietnamese woman. She's actually from Thailand in real life, but the Vietnamese character, she was brilliant. I really liked her. She was just like direct and all that stuff. Yeah. You, Paul, come here. You come on, let's go.
I was watching Matt Damon on YouTube, and he's got some great stories about people he's worked with, and just anecdotes about making a movie and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a regular thing he does, but there's a couple of clips of him online, kind of just talking about working with Tom Cruise. Sorry, not working with Tom Cruise. They were having dinner. Tom Cruise was having dinner with him in England, and Tom was saying that he was doing this stunt on Mission Impossible.
I've heard this story, yeah.
And his stunt coordinator was like, "No, Tom, that's too dangerous. We can't do something like that." And he's well, okay, that's fine. I'll just get somebody that.
I'll get another stunt
coordinator
that will agree. So I had another stunt coordinator, and he was more amenable to it.
Whereas Matt Damon was like, if a stunt coordinator told me that, I'd be like, okay, forget it, we'll do something else. Tom's like,
that's the wrong stunt coordinator.
This is what we're doing. That's it. Guy's a maniac.
Because I remember he, the first time he did one of these kind of crazy stunts was it was one of the Mission Impossible movies, and he was out in some canyon somewhere doing like free climbing.
Oh yeah,
and everybody thought that's a bit daft. And then it's like, oh, we'll just go on the side of the Burj Khalifa. That'll be fun. Yeah. And then it was like, let's just hang off an aircraft.
Is that the Burj Khalifa? Is that the big high building?
Yeah, the one in Dubai. Yeah.
That bit's crazy bonkers.
I can't watch it. My hands are starting to sweat thinking about it.
Do you know that we were watching, because we've been watching those movies, and it's a bit with Simon Pegg. I can't remember if it's that same movie, and they've got the big screen with the big screen in front of
Yes,
it.
and they're going down the corridor.
Corridor.
Yeah.
So that's a great scene.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That is brilliant, yeah. And also very similar to how the technology there is very similar to stagecraft works in the volume.
Yeah.
What comes around goes around. Goes around comes around. But look, just all I'm saying is hit the old subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get timely reminders when we put a new video up. And if you wouldn't mind helping hit, please hit the old like button and share. And comment below as well. So, what's your favorite Tom Cruise movie? What's your favorite Tom Cruise anecdote? If you've ever met him, let us know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Cheers, guys.